Welcome to Build Your Dream Network. I'm Kelly Hoey. I see people struggling to connect effectively all the time, so I created this podcast to help you master your network building needs. Whether you're seeking a new job, looking for a promotion, or scaling your business, you need a network, and you're in the right place to get the advice you need. And don't worry, my advice is real, it's actionable and practical because it's the advice I follow and is what has transformed my career from the traditional to the unexpected. So let's get started. I want to talk to you about free, as in when do you give your skills and talents away for free, and when should you hold off doing so? The idea for this week's podcast episode came as a result of numerous online conversations I've had on Twitter. Plus, this very question was asked by a member of the creative community during an online presentation I delivered for Creative Mornings. And yes, it was a presentation I delightfully gave for free. Right now, it seems many people are being asked to do things for free, or there is an expectation that their services will be delivered for free. Now, working for free can come in numerous forms. Free can be brash and brazen, such as an unpaid internship, or it could be a trial period before a customer commits to signing that contract for your services. Free can arrive rudely disguised as a standard request for a detailed work proposal, one that is so detailed that an unscrupulous recipient could rip off your ideas. But I really want to focus on the positive aspects of free as a way to help you decide when to give your talents freely, so you can avoid the resentment when perhaps you foolishly give away ideas or insights for free. Sharing freely can be a really smart career move in any economic scenario, but especially so when you're maneuvering a career transition. Now, I've got some solid examples from my own career, along with two people I interviewed in Build Your Dream Network, plus journalist Alana Lynn Gross. Alana and I were actually talking about careers on Twitter when I had that aha moment for this podcast episode. So let's start there with Alana. If you look at her resume, Alana's early career appears to be a straight line to consulting or a legal career. She studied criminal justice at university. She interned at the White House, then at the Department of Defense, and also at the FBI. She took a role as a paralegal at a very prominent New York City law firm, and just when you anticipate LSAT results, she veers off in a new direction. Today, with a degree in journalism from Columbia and a role at Forbes, plus bylines in publications ranging from Time to USA Today to Teen Vogue, it is easy to skip over all the free Alana gave away to get where she is today. The free for Alana was her own personal blog, which she started well before applying to journalism school or asking to be paid for her writing. There are the free articles she wrote for other people's websites as a way to build up her own writing portfolio and to build connections in the network that could hire her in the future. And I would also add, as a way to affirm that a writing career was the route she now wanted to direct her professional ambitions. Free as a way to grow your career or grow a side hustle into a full-time opportunity, that's the first smart example of free. The second example of free is Vera Lee. She's one of the Build Your Dream Network interviews, and I'm going to go into a little more depth on an early aspect of Vera Lee's career in New York City at a Big Four accounting firm. Because even when you have a job, there are times when contributing freely is a way to build more connections at work and enhance your job opportunities. In Vera Lee's case, she moved to New York City to continue her career at a rather inauspicious time back in November 2008. As a little reminder, Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy protection in September of 2008. Now, Vera Lee knew as the new hire, She could not simply rely on her past track record of work at another office of the same firm to get by. She understood she needed to rapidly build relationships outside of her immediate circle of coworkers. And she knew if those opportunities were slim in terms of paid client projects to work on, she needed to volunteer on committees as well as marketing projects at the firm. Getting involved with initiatives at your company is an example of free, and it is a smart one. Here's what happened in Vera Lee's case. She continued to deliver on her client work while simultaneously writing speeches, preparing PowerPoints, creating conference agendas for client programs, and other internal marketing initiatives for the firm. Being a contributor in these instances enabled her to develop a wide and diverse internal network in a very short period of time. And when it came to a rather unfortunate point in 2009, when many Wall Street firms laid off employees, Vera Lee retained hers. Building relationships at work, not just with immediate coworkers, through committees, community service projects, marketing, and other initiatives is a good use of your limited free time. The third example of free is Evan Nisselson, another Build Your Dream Network interviewee, and Evan's story addresses the situation of doing the job for free in order to get the job, particularly when you're lacking the work experience. This story of Evan's is tucked away at page 206 of Build Your Dream Network. I know Evan from the startup community as a tech innovator and investor. However, earlier in his career, in the absence of any experience, but filled with enthusiasm for photography and clearly with a whole lot of determination, Evan set his career compass on landing a job as an associate photo editor. Through his network, Evan managed to swing a meeting with a photo agent, one who made it quite clear from the start that he was not hiring Evan, not hiring anyone. Now, I know that not hiring answer. I've heard it, and it can be a stop sign in your job search. Or, in Evan's case, it can be an obstacle to navigate. Here's what Evan quite brilliantly did before ending that initial meeting with the photo agent. He asked a very simple question, and that question was, if you were in a position to hire, what would the job be? Then Evan listened to the answer, heard what the photo agent had to say, and that was that. Apparently, dashed dreams. Until a few weeks later, when Evan had the epiphany on how to get the agent's attention and land a job that didn't exist. He did the job the agent had precisely described. Evan spent time pulling together 10 global news photo stories, wrote up the photographers to shoot them, along with a long list of publications on where these photo essays could be pitched, and sent it all off freely, no guarantees. A massive long shot and a big investment of his ideas. But guess what happened? You got it. Evan landed a job that had not previously existed. By giving his ideas freely, Evan convinced the photo agent to hire him and created his own job. Now, the last example is my own career transition when I wanted my skills and talents to be applied in a different aspect of the very same industry. If you want to show your skills are transferable, you have to do more than write those words on your resume or in your cover letter. You need to back it up with some solid examples, as often hiring managers, they don't have the time to make the connection between what you did before and what you want to do now. Now, here are the two foundational areas where I put in a lot of free in order to make a career change. I volunteered on an industry committee and took the lead in organizing panels and other programming. I did this as a way to build up a new professional network whose first impression of me was in this new professional capacity. I also sought out opportunities at my place of work to lead mentoring initiatives or to conduct training programs so I had fresh examples on my resume of the skills required in the management role I was pursuing. Now, today, with events and all of our networking online, you can still find opportunities, kind of the digital equivalent of the stuff I've described in this podcast. First, you can support an online event by being more than a passive attendee. Write a summary of the event on a blog or organize a virtual lunch and learn after a training to discuss a topic further with your colleagues. Second, virtual events need hands-on support too. Raise your hand to moderate an online panel or monitor that chat feature for questions during the event. Third, as the volume of online events has exploded, so has the need to amplify and curate the great content, from all the noise. Could you live tweet during an event or circulate hot links weekly directly to your network, directing them to programming that is worth watching or listening to? If you've been struggling with when to give your talents or expertise away for free, or resentful of when you're asked to do something for free, I really do hope these examples help you out. I know it sometimes feels like you're being taken advantage of, and there are definitely those instances when someone is imposing by asking for something for free. But in other cases, like Evan's, it is the equivalent of hitting a home run after the usual job search methods have struck out. Here's the Build Your Dream Network bottom line on free. If the free is meaningfully building the network you need, along with your skill set and reputation in the industry you're working in or the sector you want to work in, it's valuable and a worthwhile investment of your time. Now, that's all the networking advice I'm freely dishing out this week. I appreciate you being a listener of the podcast and look forward to seeing you back here again next week. Thank you for listening to Build Your Dream Network. Stay connected and don't miss a networking insight by subscribing to the podcast. And while you're there, I'd love you to rate and review the show too. Are you looking for more networking advice? Pick up a copy of my book, Build Your Dream Network. It's your guide to modern networking. I'd like to hear your networking questions, tips, and ideas. Connect with me via my website, jkellyhoey.co. You'll find links to all my social media accounts, plus a contact form to email me your questions. I'm Kelly Hoey, and I'll be back again next week to tackle your networking challenges.